There was a time in my life where I was asleep. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a moment that sticks out for me that was quite significant. I was at school. I was just, feeling like I'd had a good day, and I was walking down the stairs, and the school counsellor came up to me, and she just said, "How are you going?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good, And she's like, "Oh, how's and then I think she asked me how my schoolwork was going. And then I burst into tears. And I remember at the time being completely shocked. I had no idea there was anything wrong. I had no idea I was upset. I had no idea of any of that. And I was like, where is that coming from? Now, the reason I was actually upset is because I'd only been able to read for about 2 years at that point, I was in year 8. And trying to do high school where your level of reading writing is that of a 8-year-old is really hard. And I didn't really have any support. The school gave me a minimum amount of support, but not really. And people didn't really understand the extent of the problem or how hard it was. But that's not what I want to talk to you about. What I want to talk to you about is thinking how quite often we think we're fine and we're in this bubble and we're all good. But then something happens to wake us up and make us realize on a deeper level that we're not okay, that there's something deeply wrong. And this moment in time with this virus, and a lot of us that's staying at home, this is the time for us to wake the hell up. Seriously, wake up. Last century, you guys were robbed. You guys were manipulated. We all were. Right? Now that sounds like a conspiracy theory, doesn't it? So a conspiracy theory usually has things in it like aliens or plots to control people or wars that happen for no reason. Yeah, that sounds like a conspiracy theory. But the thing is, if you go and do some digging and you have a look on there, if you have a look on the internet, you will be shocked to find that governments have started wars. America clearly started wars when they knew they didn't need to. And you can look that up. You can actually research it. You can see it started with Guatemala, where they actually started, I think it's known as like the Banana Republic. It's the Gulf War, like so many things. Like, look it up, folks. Do some digging. I don't even need to give you too much information. It's there. Now, I'm not talking about conspiracy. I'm not asking you to look at the conspiracy stuff. I'm asking you to look at stuff that's been leaked, information that is true, things that we know. So the government in America, or powers that be, they're spying on people. There is spyware in your phones. Now, that sounds crazy. Look up Snowden. This is true. It's a whistleblower came out and explained it to us. ISIS, Bin Laden, they were all trained by the Americans. The Americans went over and they trained these guys, right? I mean, that's fact. So, it's crazy. The world is actually quite crazy, right? And you can look along and you can go, oh shit. And when you go down the rabbit hole, it's quite crazy how things are, right? The manipulation that's gone on a grand scale. Now, what do I mean by you have been robbed and deceived? Well, I'm going to explain it quickly. Last century, the ad men came along. So the ad men came along and they taught us to be consumers. They taught us that what we needed in the world to make us feel happy is stuff, is really great jobs and really great houses and really great things. And the 80s became a decadent place where we learned to have extremes and want wealth. And the society went further and further down the path where we thought we had to work really hard and party really hard and buy lots of extravagant things to fill us up. Now, you can actually research and see that this stuff happened. There's a book called The Silent Controllers that talks about how dangerous the ads and the campaigns were happening, and that how dangerous TVs were, because they knew they were hypnotic devices and they used them to control the masses. They had institutions that actually did psychological testing to work out how they could control people and how they could teach people to buy things and how they could manipulate people to believe certain ideas. So, you know, there's documentaries you can watch on this. There's stuff with, like, there's books that's been written about it. I'm not talking about conspiracy theory, right? I'm talking about the reality. The reality is we've been manipulated into a consumerist society that's eating itself and eating the world. And I believe that nature is now saying, wake the hell up, right? Wake the hell up, guys, come on. And what we need to bring back is how powerful we are. We are so powerful because our consciousness creates things. We've been being told that message over and over and over again. And there is this whole world that we've disconnected from, which is the world of feeling, the world of more like on a deeper level, not as in more stuff, but more in terms of how you're feeling on the inside, the connection to spirit. What's spirit? Spirit's how you're feeling. Spirit's this energy force. It's the consciousness of everything. There's a consciousness in the earth. Why do you think that people can pick up an object, like a piece of jewelry or something, and they can tell you about that object, right? That's because the energy is left on the object. What is energy? Well, energy is what you use. Well, I'm using to do this video right now. Electricity, like the electromagnetic forces, not only are they in you and me, they're in my devices, and I feel them around me, but my body's designed to feel them, but I may not be conscious of it. And if I teach myself to be conscious of it, I look psychic. So I'm asking you to take the journey down the rabbit hole. Don't go down the whole conspiracy theory thing. Have a look a little bit about how you've been deceived, but I want you to wake up to your potential, to your magic, to the power that you have, the depth that you have, the beauty of love, the beauty of connection, the beauty and the power and the majestic nature of being with the self, which is connected to everything, to all of us. There is no separation between any of us. There is no separation between us and the earth, between us and the animals and the plants. Like, we are all connected through this amazing force of energy that we used to call God, right? We can call it anything we like. We can call it source. We can call it the feeling of the planet, whatever you like to call it, but it's a real thing. And until we wake up and understand it and understand how we can harbour it, we're never going to be free. We're never going to be as strong as we could be. For thousands of years, groups of people studied this and kept it only to themselves, basically. So if you became a monk or a priest or different in different religious sects, you learned the power that you have within you for consciousness and to raise your consciousness. And what happens when you learn about the different states of awareness and consciousness and how you can actually manipulate the world and manipulate, like, change how you're sitting, and like, it's just mind-boggling how powerful we are. Wake up, guys. Time to go inside. Who are you? Wake up. All right? Meditate. And what I'm going to ask you is, when you're looking out there for information, because there are so many amazing teachers and there's so much information, there are so many teachers being sent to earth at this time, because at the moment it's the Great Awakening. And it's not because some people are special or because some people are more spiritual than others. This is available to all of us. And don't look for the messages that are full of fear. Don't go down the path of fear. Go down the path of love. Go to things that bring you joy, but connecting to others. There is no separation. If I give to you, I'm giving to myself. If you give to me, you're giving to yourself. But what needs is that you need to learn to receive gratitude, peace, love, sharing, caring, all those things, they're your superpower. Please, I beg of you, find out who you are on the inside. Go within, wake up, and that's bring magic to the world. That's change the world, guys. That's change the world. Open up, breathe in, live and breathe and be in your hearts. Come from a place of love and not fear, and move away from fear and anger, and move into this place of love and joy and support, and we can support one another.